Good afternoon. My name is Kevin Stinson. This is for Bio 251 APUS. I think this is assignment 3. So this is the sheep heart. I'm going to have to break this assignment up in several different videos, but this is the sheep heart anterior view. There is no pericardium on this heart because it's been removed from the sac, but the pericardium is the sac that surrounds the heart while it's in the body. So the base is the area right here where all of these trunks meet. The apex is the bottom part of the heart. The right auricle. The auricles are these little pieces right here. You can actually play with them. So these are the auricles. The ventricles. So this is the right ventricle. This is the left ventricle. These are the auricles. The atriums are anything between these ventricles. After these valves, this is the tricuspid, this is the bicuspid. These are the atriums in the auricles. The pulmonary trunk is right here, all these giant veins and arteries. The myocardium is the outside layer of the sheep's heart of muscle. The endocardium is the inside layer of the cardiac muscle. The atriums are here, left and right. The opening of the superior vena cava is in here. You can actually stick your pinky in it. The tricuspid valve is going to be right here. This is the tricuspid on the left. The bicuspid is on the right. The pulmonary semi-ulnar valve is going to be up in here. It's hard to see because these things are so compressed and when they're packed, but it's up in here. The bicuspid valve, like I said, was on this side. The left ventricle is the larger one, and the aortic semi-ulnar valve is right there, and the aorta is this large vessel right here. Good afternoon. My name is Kevin Stinson. This is the circulatory system dissection of a fetal pig for Bio 251, assignment 3. So first you have the pericardium, which is this sac that was wrapped around the heart. That sac, we peel it away, and underneath it is the heart. The diaphragm is this sheet of muscle right here that separates the thoracic and the abdominal cavities. The heart, clearly here between the lungs. The internal jugular and the external jugular here and here on either side. And those are right next to your right carotid artery, which is this colorless artery right here. The superior vena cava is this, it's hard to see with all this in the way, but it's this right here. The aorta is this colorless right here that's coming out, and it actually goes down all the way, it branches off and follows the spine going this way. And then the first branch off of that is going to be your brachiocephalic artery, which is here. And then the second branch off of that is your subclavian artery, which goes off behind here. So one thing that I did find interesting was how difficult it was to cut through some of these blood vessels. That fibrous tissue really has a good tensile strength. It kind of caught me by surprise. But other than that, I've really learned a lot during the circulatory examination of this fetal pig. So the next video is going to be the lymphatic system. Good afternoon, this is Kevin Stinson for Bio251 fetal pig dissection. This video is going to be a combination between the respiratory system and the lymphatic system, because I think we can cover it both in the allotted time. So the lymphatic duct, it's in the inferior portion of the neck, and it's right here. The cisterna chyli and the thoracic duct both are, so the duct actually goes into the thymus, which is cut away here, and the chyli, they both serve the same purpose. It's where everything from the lymphatic system drains and meets into the circulatory system, so it can be introduced to antibodies and whatnot. So that's what this thoracic duct actually drains into, is a subclavian vein. That's how it gets back into the circulatory system to be combated. So the lymph nodes, I couldn't actually find any. I can only kind of generally describe where the regions are. So your cervical lymph nodes are all going to be kind of clustered up in your neck. Your axillary is, clustered around your armpit regions, and your hips is the inguinal region. So the thymus, like I said, is cut away, but it's generally here, right? So you have your thyroid, and your thymus actually goes around that and kind of encompasses this, but it's cut away because I did the complete dissection before I made the videos. And the spleen is this flap-looking organ right here. So moving on to the respiratory system, so you have your larynx, which is like this lump. This is your trachea and your lung lobes. So I actually removed a lung to make this next part easier, right? So you have three lobes per lung, left and right. In here, so we already covered this thoracic duct. Your ileus is this region where all of the blood vessels and anything that comes into the lungs is here. The visceral pleura is a very, very thin serous membrane that covers the lungs and gets into all these little fissures and everything to help protect the lungs, because they're very fragile. So the bronchus is the individual tubes. So you have your bronchi. You have your trachea comes down and branches off into your bronchus, which is the actual air tubes, which you can see is right there. And that's how, air gets introduced for gas exchange into the lungs. And then your diaphragm I covered in another video, but we'll show it again. It's this layer of sheet muscle here that separates the thoracic and the abdominal cavities.